ElaineV. So, see, I don't even know how to put this. Like, I had to make a list. The most problematic thing, I think, in the beauty world is, other than really harsh contouring, it's eyebrows. Some are, like, overdrawn. Some it's just boxy looking. Ladies, we need to do something about this because this is actually an issue. In no way am I saying that this is how you should be doing your eyebrows, but I mean, like, yo, oh my god. Giorano. I don't know what you do with your brows, but okay. So when filling in your brows, I think that there are 3 main things that you really need to look at before you start applying any product that you want to use. First thing you want to look for is the color of the product, making sure that it matches your natural hair, or you're using the color to match the color that you dyed your hair to. So I went out and purchased the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Auburn 3 months ago. It's been quite used. I've been using it kind of every day now. This product has been super hyped. There's times where I still do prefer the Brow Wiz or even MAC's eyebrow pencil, which I used to use in Stud. Second thing, analyze the shape of your brows. For me, I don't have a very high arch, so I kind of have to work with what I have. Obviously, everybody's brows are different. You don't just apply the product on. I mean, like, you want to look at your problem areas. I more so apply the product on this part of my brows to the end, and not a lot here because most of my hair is there. It's really weird, like it's just in that one spot. So whatever is left on my brush, I will apply to that area and then just use a spoolie to kind of blend it out. So you guys can see that I have kind of a fade going on. It's one thing to overdraw or overline, whatever it's called, your lips, but for your brows, that isn't necessarily what you want. If you're doing like dry clean makeup or anything like that, something dramatic and more drastic, then by all means go ahead. But there's just some girls who overdraw it on a daily basis. Their eyebrows tend to become a little thicker. It doesn't look natural anymore, and that's the whole thing about filling in your brows. You want to make them look as natural as possible, and that's just not the case when you start to overdraw them. And when I say problem areas, I mean areas of your brows where you have sparse hairs, you have bald spots, and areas that just lack hair. So you really want to concentrate on applying most of that product onto the bald spots, onto the sparse hairs, and really leaving the areas where there is more hair. And the last thing I want to mention is the blending. This seems to be a huge issue, and it's a pet peeve of mine to see girls who have boxy looking brows. This area of your brows should be looking as natural and blended as possible. I can't stress this enough because there's just so many people who have really, like, it cuts off right here. They just draw the line there and that's it. What you want to do is take a spoolie like this one. I'm going to show you guys. Or whatever spoolie you have, and blend that out like this. With that said, let's get into the tutorial and I'll show you guys how I do my brows on a daily basis.
First off, we're going to start by taming the brows. Take your spoolie and brush all the hairs in place. This area of my brows is where I have bald spots and sparse hairs, so that's where my girl Anastasia is going to come in and change up the game. This is also where I'm going to apply most of the product, just so I can accommodate for my arch. So I'm going to use an angled brow brush, dip it in the product, and with short, light-handed strokes, I'm going to start applying the product mid-brow. So you can see that I'm merely concentrating on my problem areas, using most of the product and applying it to where I have bald spots. Continuing down towards the tail of my brows, I'm slightly overdrawing to create the illusion that I do have thicker hair in that area. Before I start concentrating on the beginning of my brows, I just like to brush everything, making sure that all my hairs are in place. Next, I light-handedly apply any leftover product onto the inner parts of my brows and use short strokes to replicate natural-looking hairs. I like to create more of a fade, so I use the spoolie just to feather out and lighten them up a bit. So, to clean up around my brows for sharper looking lines, I'm going to apply MAC's Mineralized Concealer in NC20 with a concealer brush. To make sure I don't have such a harsh highlight and harsh line there, I just use my fingers to blend that right in. Okay, so I just repeat the same process but on the outer part of my brows. Sometimes I feel like I do need to go back and redo some lines just so I get more definition, so it's either I take my spoolie or apply more of the dip brow just to make sure that it looks perfect. If you want, you can also apply a brow gel, which I use by Anastasia, but they recently discontinued the item for now because they are reformulating. And that's the final look. I hope you guys find this video useful, helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!